we might finally be at the point where Rudy Giuliani could be ready to actually flip on Donald Trump. And the reason I say that is because in a deposition in February that was only released a couple days ago, Rudy Giuliani did exactly that. He threw Donald Trump under the bus. Now, the problem here is that he didn't throw him under the bus in the Georgia case. He didn't throw him under the bus in the Arizona case. No, he threw Donald Trump under the bus in his own bankruptcy proceedings. During his deposition, Rudy Giuliani went off on how Donald Trump still owes him money for his attempts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Here is what Giuliani said. After the election was over, the day or two after, President Trump asked me to take over the campaign legal stuff. He asked me to spearhead that effort, to head that effort against alleged fraud. Once I took over, it was my understanding that I would be paid by the campaign for my legal work and my expenses would be paid. When we submitted the invoice for payment, they just paid the expenses. Not all, but most of the expenses, but they never paid the legal fees. We have a number of times asked to be paid. Expenses were paid, and we haven't been paid. And according to Giuliani, Trump owes him $2 million for those legal expenses. Now, the great irony of all of this is this. Rudy Giuliani would not be in bankruptcy court, so he wouldn't be bankrupt. He would not be facing any criminal charges. He would not be facing those grand defamation lawsuits. None of it would be happening if he hadn't taken on as Trump's lead lawyer in the election subversion cases. But because he did that, he's now in bankruptcy. He's got the defamation lawsuits. He's facing criminal charges. All of that is 100% because he took that call from Donald Trump and said yes. And the irony is he didn't even get paid for it, right? How hilarious is that? You threw your life away. You are likely going to end up penniless in prison to spend the remainder of your days on this planet, and you didn't even get paid for it. I mean, hell, Rudy Giuliani just lost his law license in New York a couple days ago. So that wouldn't have happened had you not taken that phone call from Donald Trump. All of this, with the exception of the harassment lawsuit that he is facing from his former employee, but all of the other stuff is 100% because he took that phone call and then he never got paid for it. That is the saddest thing I think I have ever heard. You got used and abused, ridden hard and putting away wet, right? And here you are in bankruptcy court saying, well, Trump never paid me for it. I didn't get any money. Now, the bankruptcy court does have some powers, okay? And if it is determined that Rudy Giuliani is owed this money, the court may, and they're not definitely, but they may be able to force a payment on that invoice. If there is a legitimate invoice, if there was any kind of agreement that, yes, the invoice will be paid, the court may be able to force Donald Trump to finally pay Rudy Giuliani almost 4 years later, but that's probably going to be unlikely, right? Based on what Giuliani's saying here, he didn't necessarily have an agreement that he would be paid. He just thought he was going to be paid. So just submitting an invoice when you think you're going to be paid, like, you can't sue for that, dude. So to put it another way, hugely ironic, very funny, and you're still screwed, Rudy. Hey everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we are closing in on a pretty major milestone here at Fair and Balanced as we approach 500,000 subscribers. But we're not there yet, and we definitely need your support. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, like and comment on the videos and share them as widely as possible.